Let go and flow.
Divine blessings, everybody.
I
Welcome back.
am with Ray, and I'm Sahat.
And we're your favorite spiritual couple.
And of course, we got the Steady Steppin Podcast in the building. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Let Go and Flow. And thank you for tuning in for another amazing episode. We miss y'all. We miss y'all.
We have been on so many adventures in the last 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. I can't even tell you, and I can't even tell you. We've been across the country and back.
It has been quite the journey, the adventure, and it's been amazing. Like some Indiana Jones type stuff.
We were out there being plucky and visiting folks and just loving and living. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, and we also did that James Bond thing that she just did, but we did it in a spiritual way. Cause we was out here doing that healing retreat out in California, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it was
shout out
amazing.
to Scott Catamus and Global Peace Tribe.
Definitely. I remember one of our favorite moments from that event. We just woke up one day and someone needed our assistance, our services, and she was about to go to the ER. She was really in a bad way. And I'm like, hang on a second. I had my little coffee and I'm like, let me just go upstairs and see what's going on with this. And, she was like in a lot of pain. And so I tried to give her a little Reiki, but she was just too worked up. She wasn't receiving it. So I'm like, okay, we got her in the bath. I ran her a spiritual bath with some essential oils in there. Where's my giant crystal at? Oh, it's on the table over there. Put my giant crystal in the bath water. Let her calm down, went to go get Sahat when she got out of the bathtub and got dressed and everything. We played our sound bowls for her, gave her a little Reiki, and we just totally played healers. And the entire rest of the weekend, she was a cancer survivor and she was waiting for test results from her last biopsy or something like that. And she wasn't sure if she, was still cancer free or whatever. But the entire rest of the week, we hadn't heard anything from her. She was great. No pain, no ER visits, nothing like that. So it's just beautiful to be able to really do that grid work and raise the vibration in every move that we made.
Absolutely. We met some amazing spirits along the way, and still meeting more along the way.
Yeah. Shout out to Atlanta, everybody in Atlanta. We're in Georgia right now. We just got here last night. The travels are going to continue. So we're really excited. Dustin, what you been up to in the last 2 weeks, brother?
I have been kind of working and working on really doing a lot of thought work on developing the podcast. So that means that falls back into me developing myself as the host of the show. And really just been thinking and just being more observant of my thoughts and my actions. And just loving myself and learning myself.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah. And that kind of leads into today's topic. So thank you for saying that, brother, because, we're talking about becoming one with the seasons, one with Gaia. What does that mean? We have seasons in our own lives. And I had a friend recently tell me, I just really feel like I'm just growing through a lot of stuff right now. And, I let him vent or whatever. And I was like, I totally get it. But at the same time, you worried about stuff that's not even going to matter in 10 years. What you're worried about right now is not even going to matter in 10 years. We as humans get emotional on the current moment, but you have to realize that you're growing through a season in your life.
And when you get stuck in that current moment, it takes you out of being in that state of in the now, in that state of just flowing. And so when you're so focused on what you're going to do in the future, or when you focus on what has transpired, what has quote unquote made your life this way. A lot of times people get caught up in, oh, I was raised a certain way, or that's just how it is. And that's being stuck in that old season. Like you're talking about, and it's funny to think about it like this, but time traveling. What are you where are you getting stuck at on your journey? Are you flowing in the now, or are you just constantly focused on what you're going to do, and or are you focused on the things that have transpired in the past and allowing that to shape your future?
So true. So true. A lot of time, and you are time traveling because you stuck in the past, or you're too focused on the future that you're not able to enjoy the now. I had a meeting earlier today with my lovely accountability team. And one of the things that I was saying was like, yeah, we're doing our 12-week year. And I felt like I wasn't doing it. Like I wasn't actually taking the steps and doing the things. But while I've been out here having fun, I've looked back at my list and I've already checked off 3 things off the list. So, you know, it's all about aligning energetically for what you want. Because what's amazing is you don't have to work hard in order to accomplish or achieve your goals. You know, if you align yourself, if you plant the seeds in spring, you cultivate the soil, you water that thing every single day until it grows, it sprouts. Then it starts needing less water as it begins to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? But you have to put in the work, put in the consistency every day in order for you to bear fruit, right?
Let's think about it like this for a second. Does God have to struggle with doing anything? Because when we talk about oneness and God being in everything, that takes away that limiting belief that it's too hard to do anything. God's in everything, so God's flowing in everything, so it's too easy, actually. And you just have to get out of your own way.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about this, brother?
And so, Haj, you spoke about something very, very interesting, brother. Where you were saying we kind of live in the past of that memory, but acting in the present, recreating that same emotion from the past. And I've learned that as you continue to ask for things and you continue to plant seeds for the bettering of your future, you have to you have to trim those old memories away from that situation that you planted better seeds for. And you're like, okay, what's an example of that, right? So an example of that is this situation that happened with me just a second ago. Whole tire fell off. I'm with my brother. He's very short patience. So two people with short patience being aggravated in a situation that you know is under a time restraint can create just a very, very hectic situation. But when you plant the seed of patience, understand, and communicate and planting and fertilizing to see if the fruit is. So you're like, okay, boom. So you're in the mix of the situation. Everybody starts to get frustrated. But then you're like, hold up. I know I'm frustrated. Let me slow down, stop my frustration in the midst of the thought, and say, we can fix it. We can fix it. Let me neutralize myself. So the person that usually gets frustrated with the short temper that you're working with, once you neutralize your energy, then they're like, okay, I'm a little frustrated, but I'm gonna calm down because I see they're not as pissed off anymore. Because two people being pissed off, talking at each other instead of working with each other, will never get the situation handled. So that when you've actually tasted that fruit and you're like, nobody's aggravated once you figured it out, and you figured it out in half the time versus you both of y'all been frustrated and it's taking you double the time and you still don't have the situation figured out. So that means that tree still needs some nurturing. If you're still reacting in the same manner that you always have when you've been planting seeds around your patience.
I
Like,
love that.
Absolutely.
I
oh,
love that
definitely.
example because that it's true. We learn through these life instances, through challenges that arise. And I'm going to tie it all together really quick because, like, a challenge will arise to present the opportunity. It is how you react that decides the outcome of that opportunity. Is it going to be a successful opportunity or a missed or failed opportunity? Right. So, and that's why being in alignment and in flow with the seasons is important, because just like the winter time, it kills off all the things that are not serving right now in order to create and stimulate regrowth. Everything has to die, like kill it all, and then regrowth, right? In spring. The same thing happened with your truck tire. That tire was no longer serving your truck and it fell off. The same thing happens with overripe fruit. Rotten fruit will fall from the tree, right? So we have to really align ourselves in action with the seasons. And when adversity presents itself, look at it as an opportunity. Find the lesson in it, right? So you just realize, okay, I just learned a communication lesson from this situation. You know, we are both have this kind of temperament level. So this is how we communicate and how we navigate through a situation like this. Now you know for the future, right?
Right. And Ray, I want to throw something in the mix with that, right? So can you hold your thought what you were saying, because it's interesting how the flow really works, right? And I looked at that tire earlier and I saw a minute crack in the rim. And sometimes that crack in life can be maybe one thing that you've been saying that you want to adjust. Like you want to stop procrastinating so much so you can just continue to execute on the things that you want. But sometimes when we just go with the flow and not be intentional about fixing certain cracks that we see within ourselves, and we just flowing and you put that pressure of life on it, that thing gonna fall off and you ain't even gonna realize that you've been exposed now. So when you really see a crack or you see something that you really need to adjust within yourself, because we know, like Ray was speaking about, we can only respond. You can't control how anything else happens. You can only respond. So when you be proactive in any situation, even if you say, even though I think it's a small crack, let me tend to it before the whole thing falls apart. To truly take advantage of it before it falls apart, that I feel like it'll help you, so you're not backtracking and you don't lose that time in the season for when you was really meant to flourish. My bad, Ray. I had thought about that when you said
Oh,
that.
you're, yeah, oh, thank you. You're right in alignment. You're right in alignment. I completely agree with you. And like a lot of times we ignore those cracks. A lot of times we ignore those cracks, or some people call them red flags. You out here talking about, oh, I want to be in a relationship, but you still putting yourself with people, ignoring the red flags and allowing the relationship to burn, right? Stop ignoring the little things, because the life that you desire is on the other end of those little things. You know, Dean Graciosi has said this in his inner circle a couple months ago. The little things are the big things. I'm going to repeat that. The little things are the big things. You think it's going to take so much for you to become this multi-billion-dollar business owner, own yachts and private jets and all this lifestyle. You think it's going to take so much, but it really doesn't. It's the consistency of those little things. It's building a plan and sticking to it, even when times get hard. It's sticking to those routines, even when your schedule's out of whack. It's sticking to the integrity of who you say you are, being where you say you're going to be. showing up for people. It's the little things that people allow to slip through the cracks. Deciding the smoothie over the coffee. That's the thing I'm working on right now. Deciding the smoothie over the coffee, right? It's the little things. It's not a big adjustment. It's just in those little choices that you make, those micro commitments that you make. That is where the success lives. It's not this big, grandiose. The people that are billionaires on this planet don't have billions of dollars. The people in the most amazing relationships or with the fittest body, they don't get that from just like completely deciding, oh, they're not better than you. They're not smarter than you. They're not of a higher energetic frequency than you. I mean, maybe, but that all can be changed. Like, you can change that. You can change where you came from, or, the mindset of where you came from. You can change the way that the energy flows around you. You can change all of that stuff just by making these small changes every single day, these small moments every single day.
And it's all about living consciously versus living an unconscious life. And that's what everybody who is successful is. They have consciously decided that whatever was not working for them in the past had to be removed so that they can get to where they're at now and continue to progress. And that's something that you can learn. Like, anybody can learn how to grow, how to be different. You don't have to be stuck in this limiting belief that you can't be more than what you are now or what others have told you what to be or how to be.
Yeah. And when you learn how to align yourselves energetically with the flow of the way that these seasons move, if you notice in your life has ups, inhale, and it has downs, right? It is a cycle. The market, when you look at the cryptocurrency market or the stock market, it has ups and it has downs. It is a breath. That is why breath is so alchemical. You are breathing in all of the challenges, all of the adversity that you're experiencing in life. You have asked for it in a way, because that adversity is what stretches you. It's what grows you. It's what levels you up. Do we want to tell them about
With the trip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how it turned out? It's just how it turned out for me. Go ahead, tell them.
So we took this trip from Indiana to California, and before we even got out of Indiana, we weren't even past Indianapolis. Well, we were just past Indianapolis, and we had a car incident where this bag of chips tried to take us out. But the car,
Anyway, totaled the car.
The car was completely totaled. We were okay. Nobody was hurt. But the entire process, from the police come in, the tow truck come in. I mean, the tow truck yard was literally right across the street from where
accident happened.
We wrecked the car. And then, so didn't have to go that far. The police took us to this really quaint nature preserve inn that was like,
it was
it was really beautiful. And then
buffet
and this
breakfast
happened on a Saturday night, so like Sunday rising,
and they're telling us you're not leaving until Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You're here at least until Monday.
And we have a retreat to be at on Monday, and we're like, that's not an option.
This won't do.
No, that's not our purchase order.
This won't do.
So
calmly.
Yeah. We stayed calm. You know, we were, a little shook up in the moment, but after we gathered ourselves, we remained in that flow state. And because we remained in that flow state, Progressive called their person in, or the Enterprise person got called in on a day off.
Only Enterprise. in over a 20-mile radius that was open on a Sunday.
So he got called in to assist us.
Not to assist us, but it was synchronistic.
But yeah, Spirit has said.
Yeah, no, because like we get to like everything happens so quick. Like the progressive people, they were on and off the phone. All right, cool. Here's your reservation number. Just go up. Boom. Hopped in the Uber. We pull up. 15 minutes in and out. They have a pad now. They take you outside and they're like boop 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 boop. Done. Boom. In the car, out on the road. The guy, and as we were looking at the car, he was like, yeah, I wasn't even supposed to come in today. They called me in, and I was just like, well, I appreciate you being here. And we were on the road. And what's crazy is we did our trip, and we're in this rental. And before we even, our plan was to get to Georgia and then to drop off the rental. And then we'll just go from there, right? They deposited the money into my account before we even hit Georgia. It was like an hour after we sent in all of the stuff, all the paperwork that they needed. We had to come back from our trip and handle all this, technical stuff. Within the hour of us sending it in, okay, cool, here's a confirmation. How do you want your funds deposited? 30 minutes later, it's in my bank account. I'm like, what? Like, where they do that at? But when you're in alignment, sometimes challenges, they don't affect you the same way. You still have them, but you just flow through them.
And when Spirit hits you with those moments when you get tested and you go with the flow, Spirit's like, hey, okay, you got it. Well, let me go ahead and hit you with that smooth transition for everything.
I want to ask y'all a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all break it down for us in the way, because we know the tests are gonna come to truly see if you've been doing your homework and your studying for what you've been asking for. What type of activities, like prior to those events of challenges, what were y'all doing? Like, what type of affirmations were you telling yourself? And when times weren't bad, when times were challenging, leave or become to speak that just because you said it's gonna take to Monday, I know within my spirit that I'm aligned that when I speak things into reality, they're gonna happen. What kind of fertilizer, what kind of nutrient words were you guys feeding yourself to have that conviction when something like this kept happening?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question.
That is a beautiful question. I love that.
For me, it's not really about what you're telling yourself, and more so about how you manage your emotions. And working with your emotions on a daily basis. When you feel a negative emotion, and it usually starts somewhere in the gut, right? And it rises up, angry, right? It usually has that flow of energy. Sometimes mine gets stuck right here, right? And so when you feel physically the sensation of that energy in your body, knowing that you need to release it in a healthy way. And knowing that there's other reasons, if you change your perspective, there's other things that could be at play, and it might not have been something that happened to harm you, right? A lot of times when we react in a way, it's because we're fearful of something. One of our needs are not being met. We are fearful, or we feel like we're in danger. So we become into reactive mode, right? And just really learning when you're doing that. When are you doing that? And shift out of that energy. It doesn't happen overnight, right? And it's going to take a lot of tests, unfortunately, because 2 weeks before that, I had a whole different situation with my car. Like, so there are multiple tests that take place. And when you pass it, you'll know, because it is so gratifying. People are like, oh my God, you were in a car accident, are you okay? And we're cracking up.
Yeah, we were laughing about it.
So it's in the answer is in your reactions. It's in your emotions. Practicing how to transmute emotions all of the time. Whenever you're getting yourself into a negative emotion, transmute yourself out of it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's the same for me. The process is when I see something like that, when I'm presented with a obstacle or situation, um, I think about what would the ascended masters do, like
Mm-hmm.
how would they operate in that space, and then that takes me to, well, they know that first and foremost that God is within them, that they are God, and God is within everything. And so this is just a game. Like when you look at it, like, from a playful, with that inner child playfulness, that this is just a game. Don't take life so serious. It really allows you to alchemize, like Ray was saying, those emotions, so that you can let go and really flow in your magnificence. So just remembering that first and foremost, I am magnificent because I tell myself that every rising, and that I am God and that we are all God and God is flowing in everything. So how would God respond in this situation? And usually, like, my mind on a playful way reference some kind of like movie or some kind of pop culture reference, whether it's a TV show, video game, something.
He's like Abed from Community.
And so, like, I'll just pull something out the Akash and I'll be like, that is something God would say. That's funny. I like that. In this situation, yeah, I like that.
Too funny.
So, hi, you said something very interesting that I had an epiphany a while ago that really changed my whole perception on how I deal with a lot of stuff in life. You said, why get so upset when it's really only a game?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like once you come to the realization that life is truly a game, the body that we're in is like the controller, and our brain is the mastermind behind all of it. Um, then it's like you say, you know what? If I get mad, how is that going to make me better out of this whole experience? Because honestly, I feel like every single freaking challenge that we go through is meant to be a learning lesson. Like whether for good or to test something or whatever the case may really, really be. I truly feel like every single time we go through a situation, it's meant to really bring something out of us that we've been hiding and fostering for a long time. Um,
Yeah.
because it's like when you say it's a game and you know you got cheat codes in the game, you like, ooh, I found a new cheat code. Let me plug this cheat code in this situation to get a to get a better outcome because I know from playing this same game in a different time, the outcome I'll get if I use this exact same, I guess we're gonna call it sequence. Because it's like when you realize that it's a game, you say, "Oh, if it's a game, that means in a game I can do and I can through life so much, aka a day, and we do things in repetitious fashion."
We're losing you a little bit, brother.
Yeah, you're fading in and out of dimensions.
Oh
Let
man,
us know in
are
the
we good?
comments if you guys can hear us okay.
Am I good?
Yeah, it sounds like you're good now.
You are now.
I'm coming back. Coming back.
Yeah.
Like through conscious repetition, we feel like in our minds sometimes that things can't change. But once you come to a conscious state, and you realize you're the real scientist, aka alchemist that creates your outcome, then you start going to find other cheat codes that'll change the results of your game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
when you begin to realize it is a game, then you say, "Damn, this is a game. Let me play it more to my benefit with my own cheat codes that I've went out and found versus the cheat codes of unconscious programming that'll give me the outcome that I really don't want."
And you know what? Let me say this too. The cheat codes, you say, it's interesting you say that because they say all the time success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. Successful people, and it doesn't matter what you want to be successful in, it's a relative term based upon what your desires are. But success, whatever it means to you, whether if it's the healthy body, the life of travel, the family, the financial freedom, whatever the situation is, the cheat code is in people who already have what you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we all have our own codes.
Mm-hmm.
So using that discernment and finding what resonates with you will lead you to those codes that will amplify you on your journey.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Ooh, y'all. We're back. We're excited. I just wanted to let you guys know that we will be back and we will be doing this again next Wednesday. Um, and we're excited to be back. We have been born again on this trip.
It's the level
So
up.
yeah, level up, level up, level up. You know what I mean? So we're going to wrap it up for today, but definitely check us out again next week and let us know in the comments, like, what do y'all want to know about? What do y'all want us to talk about? What questions do you have for us? Let us know and we'll be back next Wednesday.
Yeah, run up on the set with the questions and let us know what's on your mind.
Most definitely, most definitely. Make sure we are all connected. Make sure you guys tap in with us on all platforms. So if you ever need anything before the Let Go and Flow show, we might be able to definitely connect with you guys and help you out in whatever way you need. So again, thank you for tapping in with us with another lit situation on Let Go and Flow. And thank you for bringing Ray and Sahat back safely to their new destination in their new bodies. We're so glad to have you guys back. And super excited for the growth and development of the show. And we're gonna talk behind the scenes, y'all, because I've been having an idea on how on some other things that we can do to add more value to the show. So y'all just gotta stay tuned, because we always pulling stuff out the cosmos, as Brother Sahat like to say. Something always flowing through us through spirit, how to add value, just make things much more enjoyable as we experience life together in this dimension.
I love
Absolutely.
that. Yes,
Absolutely.
this is the way.
This is the way. Thank y'all. And we'll see you next week.
We have spoken.